This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900.
Welcome and thanks so much for joining us here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Stacy Jensen. Happy Valentine's Day.
It's February 14th. Well, a motorcyclist is killed when their bike collides with a car here in Pahrump. Now, state troopers are investigating to determine what caused that crash.
Just before 1 p.m. Sunday, someone called 911 to report a crash at the intersection of State Route 372 and Red Rock Drive in Pahrump. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and Nevada Highway Patrol responded to the scene. It appears the motorcycle was traveling eastbound on 372 when it struck the passenger side of a Porsche coupe in the intersection. State troopers are investigating the crash but have not released any details. The man riding the motorcycle was thrown from the bike and landed in the eastbound travel lane. He died at the scene. The driver of the car did not report any injuries, though the passenger side of the vehicle was heavily damaged by the impact. The motorcycle was also destroyed. State Route 372 was closed for more than 5 hours while troopers examined the wreckage and took statements from witnesses. Authorities have not released the name of the victim.
And an 83-year-old Pahrump man was killed and a 79-year-old female from Pahrump was severely injured in a rollover crash that happened in Death Valley. According to California Highway Patrol, on February 10th at approximately 11 a.m., a white 2020 Mazda Miata MX-5 was traveling westbound on State Route 190 just east of Town Pass. As the vehicle traveled westbound at an undetermined speed, it then went over to the right-hand curve in the roadway. The driver allowed the vehicle to then leave the roadway where it collided into a guidepost. The vehicle then crossed into the roadway, leaving the paved portion, then overturned while traveling down an embankment. The driver was then transported by air ambulance. However, he did not survive the collision. The passenger sustained major injuries and was also transported to the hospital. The name of the driver is still being withheld pending notification by the Inyo County Coroner Department, and the traffic collision is still under investigation.
And we apologize, that is actually not the correct photo for that accident. That's actually this accident, which is 8 people were injured in a 3-vehicle crash along Highway 46 in Paso Robles on Saturday night. Several are reportedly from Pahrump. California Highway Patrol says Highway 46 was shut down for several hours. That crash happened about 7:50 p.m. Police say that Maria Garcia de Archega, who's 49 years old of Pahrump, was driving an SUV south along River Grove Drive. As she crossed Highway 46 intersection, she did not notice the oncoming compact car in the westbound lanes. Garcia de Archega crossed in front of that car and was unable to get out of the way before the impact. After the crash, both vehicles came to a rest in the fast lane of that highway. 3 people were ejected from the SUV. Mario Jimenez of Paso Robles, who's 62, was heading west in the fast lane of Highway 46, and he was unable to avoid that SUV, and his van hit the back corner of the vehicle, causing it to spin several times. Maria Garcia de Archega was airlifted to Sierra Vista Regional Medical Center for immediate treatment. Officials say that she sustained moderate injuries. The 3 passengers in her SUV and the 2 in the compact car sustained major injuries. They were taken to Sierra Vista by ambulance. Jimenez and the passenger inside that van were taken to Twin Cities Community Hospital for treatment of minor injuries.
And a tip is leading authorities to the Pahrump man who is now under arrest and facing 10 felony charges related to child pornography. Brad Francis has more.
Ian Roberts has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center on 6 counts of possessing visual pornography of persons under the age of 16, 3 counts of using the internet to control a visual presentation depicting sexual conduct of a person under the age of 16, and 1 count of preparing, advertising, or distributing pornography involving a minor. The Nye County Sheriff's Office received a cyber tip just before Christmas that someone using an undisclosed email address had uploaded video and images that authorities determined to be child pornography. pornography. Detectives were then able to trace that email to an IP address that eventually led them to Roberts. On January 19th, deputies executed a search warrant at Roberts' home. In the arrest report, officers say when they spoke with Roberts, he admitted to looking up child pornography via the internet on his cell phone and on 2 desktop computers in his residence. Deputies say Roberts further admitted to downloading child pornography onto both devices and onto a flash drive and external hard drives within his home. The arresting officers say in their report that they seized all of those devices and located child pornography on all of them.
And 2 people were stopped while riding a stolen SUV, or ATV actually, in Pahrump, and they're now under arrest and facing felony charges. Brad Francis has the story.
Charlie Galdamez and Rochelle Bear are under arrest and facing charges in connection with a stolen ATV. A Nye County Sheriff's Office deputy conducted a traffic stop on an unregistered blue ATV on Alfalfa Street near Tehachapi Avenue. The officer states the vehicle was being driven on the roadway but was not displaying a registration sticker. Galdamez was driving the ATV. Bear was a passenger. According to the arrest report, both told the deputy the vehicle belonged to a mutual friend. While speaking with the couple, the officer noticed a threaded screw-type object in the ignition switch keyway that had a top similar to a wing nut. Through a records check, the deputy discovered the ATV had been reported stolen in Las Vegas. The deputy placed Galdamez under arrest for possession of a stolen vehicle. Bear did not provide a valid ID and initially gave officers the names Sheridan and Nichols, saying she had never been arrested. After deputies warned her she would be arrested if they could not identify her, Bear was placed under arrest for possession of a stolen vehicle and providing false information to a peace officer. The sheriff's office says after her arrest, Bear did provide her real name. During a records check, deputies discovered Bear was wanted on a misdemeanor warrant out of Clark County. In the arrest report, officers write that based on the fact there was a screw-type object threaded into the ignition switch instead of a key, it's clear that a reasonable person would know or should have known that the vehicle was stolen.
More news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment is brought to you by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
And welcome back. Former Pahrump Medical Center building, it will soon be sold off to the highest bidder. Nye County Commissioners have okayed the sale of the building with an auction date set for May. Brad Francis reports.
Nye County owns 2 buildings and the land under them located at 1501 and 1503 East Calvada Boulevard. The buildings were home to Pahrump Medical Center, the county's primary medical care facility, until what is now Desert View Hospital opened in 2006. A number of tenants have leased space in the building since then, and 2 tenants are currently leasing space there. But county commissioners have determined the property is no longer needed for public use and that it's in the best interest of the county to sell the property and use the proceeds from the sale to build new county facilities around the Calvada Eye.
I would actually support, because I think the building is an asset and we're looking to do some really good things, bring in the more medical services, which is going to have benefits to the people. But more importantly here, but we also want to be able to move forward with some other projects that we have at the Eye that we're going to be looking forward to do so.
I had been on the bandwagon to sell, then I got off the bandwagon to not sell, and I'm leaning towards the sale. And that's hard to stomach because I've been back and forth, and it's all because the price of new construction just really stinks. But sometimes we have to bite the bullet like we just did with One Stop. We need new facilities, and I mean new facilities. Not something retrofitted.
It's obvious that we need space here in the county. We need further improvements down at the Eye, and monies. Any improvements equals monies.
The thing that I'm trying to project is we really need to build buildings that are for the people.
I agree.
Not try to tear something apart to make it try to work. It'd be better to be building those buildings in the area around the Eye so that we're starting to build the complex like we've always wanted to build the complex around the eye.
First Choice Pregnancy Center and Premier Adoptions currently lease space inside the buildings and have since 2020. It's unclear what might happen to them under new ownership. News 25 reached out to First Choice Executive Director Nancy Irwin. We expect to hear from her next week. As for the auction itself, the minimum bid will be $2 million, and the property will be sold as is. Anyone interested in buying the facility can view it during a walkthrough on March 18th at 3 p.m. Sealed bids must be received by 5 p.m. Monday, May 16th. The auction will be held Tuesday, May 17th inside the Board of County Commissioners chambers on Walt Williams Drive in Pahrump. Registration begins at 9 a.m. The title will be conveyed by quitclaim deed, and commissioners retain the right to reject any or all bids. You can learn more about the bidding process by visiting nyecounty.net.
Well, you could call it the royal flush of the hiking world. The 52 Peak Club awards hiking playing cards to their members based on their accomplishments. Nearly 3,000 people are playing the game.
The name of the club is 52 Peak Club. So we climb the best 52 peaks around Las Vegas. Club started in 2011. We've had over 6,400 hikes. We normally have over 30 hikes a month. And it's all based on a deck of cards. So the easier peaks are like the 2s and the 3s. The harder peaks are the jacks, kings, and aces. We have almost 3,000 people in our club. And once you're a member for life. So there's no time limit. You can do it in 6 months, you can do it in 6 years. And each time you get to the peak, you get a playing card. And I've been doing hiking for over 25 years. So when we started, I just kind of had an idea, I want some easy peaks, some tough ones. Some I didn't include because I thought they were too tough. So I would say almost all of them are pretty good peaks. The one we did today, and Rick became a 53er on, is Windy Peak. Now we went the back way, which is very easy compared to the front way. And that's another thing. It doesn't matter which route you take. Sometimes there's 5 different routes. As long as you take a route with us, the 52 Peak Club, and make the peak, you earn the card. Since all the leaders are volunteers, they schedule the hikes when they want. But new people, in fact, we had just today a woman join, and this would be a good first hike. But if they're new, I tell them, start with the lower value cards and work your way up so you enjoy it. Go to the website 52, and it's the numbers, 52peakclub.com.
The nice thing for hiking community is when you go in the sports world, when you win, somebody loses, okay? When a team wins, another team loses. So everything is about some group is happy and some group is sad. Hiking is different in the sense that we all succeed together. It's not a competition. So today, Rick Marshall got his 52nd card, which is the goal, I guess, in the 52 Peak Club. But no one else, you didn't have to step on anybody else to get there. We all got to hike also, to go to the same peak and get card, whatever card number it is for us. So it's kind of different from the corporate world where to climb the ladder, you step on people, right? Or other people get passed over for promotions. Here we all succeed together.
There's 52 peaks that the club has designated that you have to climb to earn the 53 title. Once you climb your 52 peaks, you're then considered a 53er because you went one step above and beyond. Every peak has a card associated with it. Today was my final card to complete the deck of 52 cards.
How was the hike today?
It was short and sweet, which is why I picked this for my final hike. Once we got to the peak, the owner of the club and the leader that took me up there, Jim was the leader, Branch is the owner of the club. They both gave a little speech about my accomplishments and then presented me with the plaque. And then I thanked everybody in the club for their support. Everybody helps one another. There's no drama on the trail. And it's just a good way to be in shape physically and mentally.
And we'll be back with more News 25 right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
And Valentine's Day is finally here, and you can bet a lot of people will be reaching for flowers, love notes, and of course, those box of chocolates. And if you're worried about eating too many sweet treats, well, we have some advice from Cleveland Clinic. Dr. Susan Albers.
We have a lot of conflicted feelings about chocolate. On one hand, we love it and crave it. But on the other hand, we often experience a lot of guilt and concern about eating chocolate.
Dr. Albers says the key to eating chocolate is to be mindful. She recommends eating it slowly and really trying to savor each bite. It's also important not to overindulge, which can be tempting. Experts say you should eat no more than 1 ounce a day. Dark chocolate has also been known to have some nutritional benefits. For example, it can help lower blood pressure and may increase dopamine and endorphins too, which can create a mood-boosting effect. If a box of chocolates isn't your style, consider chocolate-covered strawberries instead. Dr. Albers says they are full of antioxidants and vitamin C.
Not everyone loves and craves chocolate. It is okay to put chocolate aside for the holiday and buy something else. You don't have to focus just on chocolate. There are great healthy treats that everyone loves during Valentine's Day.
Dr. Albers says Valentine's Day gifts don't always have to cost money. You can do some kind of act of service, like cooking your loved one dinner or taking care of certain chores around the house.
All right, we have today's Save a Pet from Desert Haven Animal Society. We're going to speak to Darby. She's hanging out in the yard with Elmo.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Elmo. Elmo's over here on the side. He did just go and get fixed, so he's all ready to go and be adopted. So he is acting a little bit off right now because of the anesthesia. He is such a cute little guy. He is what I would call a schmedium, where he's too big to be a small, too small to be a medium. But he actually is a very interesting looking dog, so he's primarily all black. But he has a lot of the features that Rottweilers have. So the cute little like beige eyebrows, the little bit of beige on his snout, cute little beige paws and chest, just adorable, and also no tail. He has no tail at all, just like a Rottweiler, but he's a miniature version. We would probably go and consider him a pocket Rottweiler, but he is full grown. He is roughly around the age of 2. If you want to come and see Elmo or his sister who he came in with, Jasmine, you can always give them a call at 775-751-7020, or you can always look up Desert Haven on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Beautiful out there today. A little bit of clouds in the sky.
A little bit of wind. John's going to have a full weather for us coming up in just a moment.
Like smacking her.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you and your sweetheart are enjoying everything. Fernley and Fallon, Carson City, they're enjoying mid to upper 60s. Not too bad. Tonopah only at 60 degrees. Goldfield warming up to 64. As we head south, Beatty 67. All right, now we're talking. Amargosa 73, our hot spot. And out in Las Vegas, just close behind at 72. Death Valley, California, 79 degrees. Pretty pleasant out there, even still. And here in the paradise of Pahrump, 69 degrees is our current temperature. Sun is setting as we speak. We've got a little humidity, a little clouds tonight. Should be some beautiful colors as that sun is setting. And we'll look forward to it bright and early tomorrow morning, 6:31. High tomorrow, just 59. Low of 40. Well, the wind's really kicking up. South-southwesterly winds to 19 miles per hour. That is an average. They've actually got a wind advisory, and they're expecting gusts up to 35 and 50 miles per hour. If you've got like a light plane or something that's going to blow around, might want to make sure it's tied down as we head into the week. Though shouldn't be that much of a problem. Okay, big wind advisory tomorrow. Wednesday, still a little windy, 18 mile per hour average gust, but the sun shining and the temperatures in the mid and lower 60s as we head on to the rest of the week, the wind does calm down. Come Sunday, it looks like a change in direction for the wind is what's coming at us on Monday, and those temperatures dropping down again into the mid-60s and the low 50s. Oh gosh, we might even see some rain next Monday, so we'll be keeping an eye on that system and updating you as information comes in. But on average, not a bad week to look forward to. Here, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right. Some winds tomorrow, huh?
A little windy out there, yes.
Well, we hope that everybody has a wonderful Valentine's Day. You too, Stacy. You have fun.
Thanks.
And we'll see everybody back here tomorrow night. I'm Deanna.
I'm Stacy.
Good night.